All right, welcome back to the channel. So Deontay Wilder in the interview says that he is looking towards retirement. There's not much left for him in boxing. He wants to get to undisputed, and after that, in his words, he's out of here. Let's talk about that and what it means for boxing and the chances of that happening in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So Deontay Wilder is about to fight Tyson Fury this weekend in a fight that I think is going to be a close fight and a good fight, and where he has a very good chance of getting his WBC belt back. He was in an interview and somebody asked him how much longer he thought he really had left in boxing. And his attitude and what he said was pretty much, man, that he was looking to wrap it up. He wanted to get to one face, one name, right? One face, one name in the heavyweight division, so that after that, you know, he could get gone in the sport of boxing. And, you know, for me, that's absolutely, you know, kind of bittersweet to hear from Deontay Wilder. Because although I've been a Deontay Wilder fan for years, and there's been a lot of really, really good fights that I've seen Deontay Wilder in, it's just wild to see that, you know, it just seems because so many people refuse to give Deontay Wilder his credit, that Deontay Wilder's, you know, almost like a new boxer on the scene, because he really only started getting the big paydays and all the big and more of the big notoriety over the last couple years. So but Deontay Wilder saying he wants to step away from the sport, I mean, it makes sense because, you know, he's over 40 fights. You know, he's had over 40 knockouts. There's a lot that he's really done in the sport of boxing. And I think he's in a situation, if everything that was right, where he could be a Hall of Famer in the sport of boxing if people give him his just due. Now, I understand that there's a lot of you know, boxing writers out there that are not, you know, aren't high on Deontay Wilder. And, you know, those guys, in my opinion, spend more time looking at how he throws his punches versus like what happens when he actually does throw his punches and the results that the guy has gotten in his career. Right. So, I think the dude is a future Hall of Famer. And honestly, I think that he has a really good chance of doing what he wants to do, which is become the undisputed champion. But it's not going to be an easy road in order for him to get there. Like if he beats Tyson Fury in this fight upcoming, and I really do hope that he is, and I've done a lot of videos in support of Deontay Wilder, but at the same time, man, you know, I'm a boxing realist. I really do believe that Tyson Fury is, first of all, Tyson Fury is a good fighter. He's not somebody that cannot fight and doesn't have the ability to win boxing matches. He's a skilled fighter for sure. But also Tyson Fury is a very, very dirty fighter. So if the skill's not working for Tyson Fury is going to resort to being extremely dirty in the ring. So, and people can call it toughness. They can say whatever they want to say. You know, it's pretty much being a dirty fighter. I think he's a dirty fighter inside the ring when he needs to be. And I think he's a dirty fighter outside the ring as far as performance enhancing drugs and the like. And also, you know, there's a lot of, you know, there's a stigma against Deontay Wilder, where if Deontay Wilder's not knocking somebody down in a round, they're going to wind up giving the round to the other guy. So, you know, to get past Tyson Fury in this fight, to get the first step of getting back to undisputed, he's going to have to be very, very anxious. He's going to have to be very, very active. He's going to really have to go at Tyson Fury. And he's going to really, I think he's walking in here almost needing a knockout to win. Mike Tyson was asked about what he thought Deontay Wilder needed to do in this fight, and he said, "Man, look, Deontay Wilder needs to he needs to go at it for 5 or 6 rounds, let everything hang out. If you catch him with it, you catch it with him." And I think that's pretty much what he needs to do, man. He needs to pretty much press Tyson Fury, go at Tyson Fury, push Tyson Fury back. He needs to be prepared for whenever Tyson Fury does something like rabbit punch him, he's got to come right back with a foul. And I know that may sound bad, but I think, you know, that's what you get from these fighters like Andre Ward, where Andre Ward would say, look, if somebody's going to foul me, I'm going to make him stop fouling me. And that's what Deontay Wilder is going to have to do, man. He's going to have to bring like a real serious toughness to this fight in a way that is and it's a dirty, I mean, he's going to have his own dirty tactics to make up for Tyson Fury. With Tyson Fury pushes him with his hand in his face, right? That's what something Tyson Fury was doing in the first and the second fight. Definitely in the second fight, just straight palming him in the face, things like that. Rabbit punching him, neck wrenching him. Deontay Wilder's going to have an answer for all of that stuff and then some to offset Tyson Fury. I really do believe Tyson Fury has no shame about cheating. Nobody ever held him responsible or said anything to him, that would make him believe that anybody took the cheating allegations against him seriously. So you can just expect more of that. But that said, I know that Deontay Wilder has the knockout power to get Tyson Fury out of there. That was, well known that was demonstrated in the first fight. If it is true that Deontay Wilder had something that was affecting his legs, whether it be something in his water or something else that were affecting his legs, and his legs are fresh and all that, I see it being a fight, a good 12 round fight. But even if he does beat Tyson Fury, the other 3 belts I think are going to be equally difficult to get. But off of Alexander Usyk has a rematch with Anthony Joshua coming up. I think that that Alexander Usyk is going to win that fight. I think he's a better fighter. But just like with the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, there's a chance that Anthony Joshua gets that belt back. And I'm telling you, if Anthony Joshua actually gets his 3 belts back, then I don't think that you're going to ever see Deontay Wilder get a shot at Anthony Joshua. And because Anthony Joshua is just somebody that I don't believe can handle Deontay Wilder. I think the very first time, like in the first or the second round of those guys fighting, Deontay Wilder can lay into him with a shot because Anthony Joshua is not the most elusive guy in the world. He can come around that high guard, and as soon as he hits him with a right hand or a left hook, he's going to wobble Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua more than likely is going to be afraid to engage. So I think Eddie Hearn and those guys see that, and I don't think that they're going to allow him to get in the ring, man. So, I know that Deontay Wilder wants to get to undisputed. It just seems like that it's just such a long road for him to get there. He was right there earlier in his career, maybe 2 years ago with Anthony Joshua, and we saw how they went about. You saw how they treated him. Then, if he beats Tyson Fury by knockout, he's right back where he was before, with everybody fearing his power and all that. And I think that you're going to see these guys keep Tyson Fury, keep Anthony Joshua and probably Alexander Usyk away from him as well. Because Alexander Usyk is not the biggest guy in the world, and nor is he the most elusive person in the world. He's somebody that he most definitely beat Anthony Joshua, and he beat Anthony Joshua handily. But he had problems with Derek Chisora. He had problems with Chaz Witherspoon. And I don't know if his handlers are going to be willing to put him in there with Deontay Wilder if Deontay Wilder knocks out Tyson Fury or beats Tyson Fury in this third trilogy fight, man. But if it winds up being the case that Deontay Wilder, does go off and retire after a couple more fights, I'm telling you, man, I think this dude has had an excellent, excellent career. And he's had an excellent career for me, the boxing fan, because he's always given me exciting fights, man. Like, you could look at Tyson Fury fight and say how good a fighter he is and all that, man. There's absolutely nothing exciting about a Tyson Fury fight. You're not going to get a knockout. You're going to get a lot of clowning, and you're going to get a lot of clowning, and you're going to get a lot of talk before the fight, a lot of talk after the fight, but in the fight, it's really not going to be all that. It's really not all of that. You know what I mean? Where Deontay Wilder, you may think he's losing a fight, and then just in an instance, boom, that fight is over, and you got to watch him through all 12 rounds, and he's highly, highly likely to catch you with something during those 12 rounds. So, for me, I think Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Fame level fighter, and anybody that says otherwise in that, man, just get out of here. Go look at the people that are in the Hall of Fame. If Arturo Gatti can make it into the Hall of Fame, Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Fame fighter. But anyway, that's my take on the situation. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'm out. Peace.